This podcast is sponsored by NACO Gold and Silver Exchange. Check them out online at nacogoldensilver.com or go by their location in San Antonio at 13323 Nacogdoches Road, Suite number 3. NACO Gold and Silver Exchange.
Hello everyone, here we are again with me, Trudy. Hi guys, and we are going to see what is going on with Trending with Trudy, and today I'm super excited. I have a very good friend of mine, Mr. Chase Hooker. Hello Chase.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me today.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
When do you stop saying Happy New Year? I mean, it's January 5th, right? So how long do you go?
January 15th.
January 15th.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
good. That's a good 2 weeks in. All right, cool. 2 weeks into January, and the weather is nice and cold, nice and chilly, which I love. And it's also 15 days of going into a dry January. I'm only 5 days in of dry January.
That's good.
I mean, so last night was really hard for me, though, because I tend to, do all my work, do my laundry, do everything, drive it around everywhere, and come home and want to have a nice glass of white wine. You know me. You know me well enough. I'm a wino.
Right.
I love my white wine.
Right.
And maybe some red here and there. But yeah, so I've been doing this dry January now for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel so pretty in the morning when I wake up.
Yes.
I feel good. I feel energetic. I mean, not that I am sluggish all the time, but you can definitely feel a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one to, drink, all the way into the evening, but I can definitely tell that not drinking, at 3, 4 o'clock makes a big difference.
It does.
It makes a big difference. Although I still like to go to the bars. I still like to socialize. I have to have my social time. Because these little doggies can only, keep me, busy for a while during the day. But so, I mean, how many people do you know that have done dry January? Are you doing dry January?
I am doing dry
Yeah.
January. I've actually been doing dry January for a very long time. I'm going on 9 years of sobriety.
9 years of sobriety.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you.
So tell me what made you start to get into the dry January? What launched you into that?
Well, I'll give you a quick little backstory on that. So I've always been kind of a social person, just like yourself. Always in and out of dinner parties and events and stuff like that. And about 9 years ago, I had a lot of stress in my life with constantly with work and family and everything, and I ended up just getting to a point where my drinking had become a health issue. And I decided that I needed to kind of step back from it. And fortunately, at that particular time, I was in my early 40s, and it had taken a toll on my body. I wasn't eating right, I wasn't exercising, and just living a lifestyle that wasn't really applicable to what we should be doing with ourselves.
Sure.
And I ended up becoming ill, unfortunately, and had some major medical issues that I had to address and really change my lifestyle. I ended up getting to a point where I needed to basically change my lifestyle by cutting out drinking totally, changing my diet, my intake. I had become, unfortunately, my health had become deteriorated where my liver had begun to shut down.
So this wasn't just something that you felt as your own, like you had to go see a doctor.
Yes.
You had to have a doctor tell you, listen, something needs to change.
Something needed to change. I was always a happy-go-lucky-go person and ignoring a lot of the signs.
Sure, I think we all do. Yeah.
And I was caught up in the moment and I wasn't paying attention to what my body was telling me. And fortunately, I had some really good friends and family members that kind of stepped in and said, "Well, wait a minute, you need to go see this doctor." And the doctor really kind of set me straight. Unfortunately, he caught me at a time where it was give and take. I did have to go to the hospital for about 10 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I cut it pretty close, but I was determined to
make a change. Live life.
I made that decision right there in the hospital. I said I was done.
Were you scared?
I was. you know, when you get to that point in life and you're sitting there looking at things and you're flashing back and forth with your life and looking at your loved ones, you will make a decision to either you're going to make that change or you're going to give up. And I decided not to give up.
Well, it sounds like you had a really great support system, so that's a big deal. That's a big thing. Because I know a lot of times people, you know, especially at a young age that you were and still are, you know, you tend to think, oh, it's fine. I'll be fine in a few days. Just give me a couple months. I'll be fine. But you were in a different situation where this was just something where your life, this was it, or you were going to go downhill and be done. You were going to fall off the cliff and that was it. So that takes a strong person. That takes a lot. And like I said, a big support system for you to have on your side. And so at that point, how much longer did it take for you to come back to be able to come out and be social and come out and, you know, be around people without it triggering you, without it being something where it was like, oh shit, I can't be around you people because I want to drink?
So everybody's different. I was a very, very social person. And so for me, giving up alcohol, and a lot of times you get, some people think that, oh, I can't be social, I can't socialize, I can't go and have fun, I can't be in bars because I'll get triggered. I had to make a decision that I could not drink, but I needed to be social. So I did the switch in my mind mentally to where I could block that out, the trigger points, and eventually accept that I didn't need alcohol to be socially accepted. It took me probably about, I'd say 3 months afterwards, but I knew I had to make that painful step forward. I couldn't be afraid of it, and I took that challenge head on. I will give you an example. Is about 6 months into my sobriety, I did get an invite out to Vegas with some.
Oh gosh, of all places, really? Why couldn't it be like Disney World or something?
Yeah,
Vegas?
it was,
My gosh.
I got an invitation out to Vegas for with some oil and gas colleagues of mine out of Canada. And they sent me a plane ticket, say, we want you to come out and meet with us. We want to do some business in Texas. And these guys rolled out the red carpet. It was everything you could ever imagine in Vegas. It was Halloween. It was, these guys owned a race car out, a dragster out there. It was all expenses, everything. And I said, if I'm going to do a challenge myself, I'm going to go and do this one. And I said, if I can make this happen,
you can do anything.
And there was a lot of concern for me going there. I kind of put something out on Facebook and accepting this challenge for myself. And a lot of people didn't know if I was going to make it or relapse and go back down the rabbit hole. And so I went out there. When I got there, everybody was like, hey, what are you drinking? And I was like, oh, by the way, you know, I'm sober. And they're like, ooh, really? And about 3 hours into it, as I was drinking water, one of the main guys stepped aside. And he says, look, you know, I've known Chase about 10 years. I love him like a son. And he's just an amazing person. But I really like him even better now that he's sober.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, he's 10 times sharper and he's twice as funnier.
Well,
so,
then that had to make you feel so good. I mean, that's what kind of gave you your, that was your,
that was my true definition that I could do this.
Okay.
And as soon as I did that, I knew I had this, and I wasn't going to be able to, you know, I wasn't going to be able to, you know, relapse or anything like that. And I just knew I was moving forward in life, and I had it.
And so when you came across the friends who had in the past been with you while you were on your, you know, drunken rage, should I call it that?
Yeah.
I don't mean to, you know, not drunken rage, but, you know, constantly
Debauchery,
fine, I mean, I can say that. When you came across them, were they stunned to find out, or were they comfortable with it? Were they kind of like, oh, we don't want to be around you, or did they accept you as you were and thankful that you were feeling better and healthy?
It's a variety of all that.
Okay.
So there's different ones, different friends in there. That some that didn't know that I was sober, and then they would order me a drink, and I said, oh, you know, I don't need one really. You know, I'm sober now. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And then there's the ones that are very, very thankful that I'm, you know, where I'm at now, health wise. That they didn't lose me, because, you know, we've all lost some friends to this. You know, at our age. And but then there's some that just think that's really, really cool. And then there's some now, because I'm almost 9 years in, that I've met, and they can't even imagine me. They've never met me. They've never seen me drunk before or, intoxicated. They know of the stories of that, but they're just like, hey, they have a hard time understanding that you're like this solid, straight guy that just
it's like
anything.
going like completely
just,
on the right. So tell me a quick little story, that you would say that person, or, give an example of friends that you are with now that were with you back then that are going, oh crap, we never would have thought you would have turned out like this.
Yeah. So, I mean, they would have thought, like, out of all the people that was in our groups and stuff, that I would be the last one who got sober. Like, I was just on a mission, and my life I was having fun, I didn't care, blah, 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 I cared, but... But it was just, like, free will and just having a good time. And,
so, in the getting to become sober, I know you had friends and family to support you, but, I mean, I'm sure you had to go through some therapy, some kind of...
Some AA and stuff like that. So, every year I post a little bit of a segment of my story on social media. And I've been doing that for the past couple of years now. And I like to it's kind of a following now, and people are getting insight to it. I get a lot of private messages asking about, people, hey, how did you do this? My husband's, struggling, my wife's struggling, my cousin, whatever it is. And I don't mind getting those messages, and I'll reply to almost all of them. And I'll be more than happy to meet with anybody and have coffee and talk to you about that. But what I always tell everybody is everybody's path to sobriety is different, okay? So whatever works for you might not work for other people. So you keep on what's doing what works best for you. Like I said, when I got into my sobriety, it was very physical. It was medically induced.
Right.
It was very traumatizing to my body and what I had to go through mentally. So I fortunately had to get sober, but I didn't understand any of the mental side of why I ended up where I was and how I ended up, drinking so much.
Yeah.
And all those underlying issues that I had to deal with. So I had to unpack all that later on. I did end up eventually going to AA and understanding all the 12 steps, and you work them on your own. Some people will do that in the forefront. I didn't, so when it's different. AA is a very good roadmap. Mm-hmm. It's proven out. It can be challenging for some people. Some people are afraid of it. I highly recommend going to that. There are other counseling groups that you can get, that are offered through churches, private organizations. There are rehabilitation centers that people have gotten sober through. Anything that might work best for you is what I always recommend going through, and I'd be more than happy to sit down.
That's awesome. So yeah, anybody out there who needs a lifeline, if you will, or some questions for Chase, I mean, you can reach him through me, through Trending with Trudy at gmail.com, or reach out to us on Facebook wherever you can. Chase, if you want to give your information, you're more than welcome to. Hold on. Do we need to give out your number for other purposes? I mean, on that note, where does how does the dating scene go being sober? Because I feel like, these days, especially this month, everybody's out looking for, new hot date, and, how does that?
Valentine's Day's coming up.
Valentine's Day, yeah.
We could do a whole nother show on that one.
Okay, well, let's start right now. I'm curious. How does that work? Like, you invite someone out for, how do you say it? Like, you want to go to coffee, you want to go to dinner, you want to go, and then they order a glass of wine, maybe a bottle of wine, or is that up to, how do you...
Okay, so the dating thing is challenging, and so you take it as two different points of view. It's like with me, I am not offended by anybody drinking around me. I have a lot of friends that drink all the time. I've dated women that drink around me as well. The only thing that a lot of us that are in the sober side of things that don't really like is we don't prefer people that get sloppy drunk or get a mean drunk.
Yeah.
I
don't like a mean drunk either.
Yeah, I know. So, we've been through a lot of challenges and emotion stuff in our past to get to where we are at now in sobriety, and we enjoy our peace. And so we guard that with our heart. And to bring somebody into that, we want to make sure it's the right fit. But the thing is it's okay to have fun. We don't say, hey, you can't drink ever around us. You can't be yourself. You can't let loose. Or we don't set borders or boundaries like that at all. And so a lot of people don't know that right up front. I have some of my female friends that are now dating some sober gentlemen, and they've asked me like, hey, how do I do this? What's the protocol of this?
Yeah, because I don't know. That would be really hard for me. I mean, my husband and I drink, but if I don't drink, he really doesn't drink, and if he doesn't, I think I'm more of a drinker than he is, so I can't imagine that today's world, it's already so hard to date. I've got many single friends, as you know, and I just don't know how, do you tell them up front? Do you tell them, do you put that on your dating site? I don't know if you're on a dating site.
I
Not anymore?
Stay away from the dating sites. They're horrible. You kind of put it up front.
You kind of volley it up there.
You kind of do, but then you also, you kind of got to brush it over a little bit and say, and we kind of wear it as a badge of honor, because it's what we hold dearly to us. That's my biggest accomplishment in life is my sobriety. I hold it dearly to me.
And you've got a tattoo on your arm. I love that.
So, and I talk about it, and I use it as trying to help people, but I don't want to shy it away, scare people away from me too. And so I try to make it at ease, and so I'll tell them kind of crazy stories and stuff. That's things I used to do,
Well,
so.
do you think they want you to pull that back out of you, or you're still crazy? You're still fun and crazy. I know that. I can vouch for him, guys. He's kind of cool. He's fun. He's fun to be around. So that's pretty awesome. So moving forward, every day, do you feel like it's a challenge, or is it? It's 9 years. Yeah. And in March, is it 10?
March will be 9 years.
March,
so coming up
March will be 9 years.
So March 15th. So every day, with me, it's on autopilot right now. I don't really ever have any feelings or temptations or triggers or anything like that, or even on a stressful day. And the reason why, I say this on myself, and this is everybody's different. Remember this, is that when I endured what I went through with my liver and my body reacting the way it was very, very painful. And so anytime I think about ever possibly thinking of, let's just have a drink here, it's like that, I go right back to the physical point of view of what my body looked like, what I had to endure for months at a time, and what it did to me. It put me in the hospital. And the doctor said that, you always hear this, the liver will heal itself. And yes, that is true, but I do say this too, the liver is, it's got like a muscle memory. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as it will heal, it will also deteriorate just as rapidly as fast. Oh. So,
Did you do a lot of research on this while you were in recovery? How did you learn about the liver?
Liver, basically living.
Living through it. You kind of learned as you lived it.
The doctors are telling me what I was enduring, what I was going through. Also, having to explain it to my family members that were also having to process through. So, understanding the medical side of things, and getting educated was a big part of understanding things. And then on the recovery side, it's also kind of a prevention, knowing what would happen again, because the doctors will tell you, they're just like, you do this again, you relapse and you're gone. Yeah. You're not coming back. Yeah. So that's one of my biggest returns.
That's amazing that it's 9 years and you still socialize. Yes. We've gone to dinner parties with our friends and families, and you're cool.
I can tell a really good story.
Oh yeah, he's a great storyteller. You are a great storyteller, that is for sure. And I noticed that they've come out with so many of the non-alcoholic. Mm-hmm. You brought us some for New Year's, and I enjoy them. I'm enjoying the Heineken Zeros right now. Mm-hmm. So I assume you enjoy your non-alcoholic.
So here's the thing: is like non-alcoholics, where you go to the bars that are non-alcoholic bars. A lot of us that are in this space, we will drink a non-alcoholic beer. It will say it's got a little bit of alcohol in it. That's like mouthwash almost. Yeah. So don't really knock anybody that's drinking those. Yeah. Typically, I don't really buy those that often because it's kind of like a waste of money. Yeah. And if you go to these like mix-a-lot, sugar drinks, it's just a lot of carbs and sugar in there. Yeah. You're paying $8-10 for them. So it's kind of you don't really like to do that too much. So if you see me out, which is a lot of times, I always have those little Mio flavors.
Little Mios, which I've stolen a few from you. Yes,
so
yes.
I drink water and Mio flavors, and so I should get a sponsorship from Mio.
Yeah, you should.
But,
Mio, listen, he has stacks of them all the time.
Yeah, they're in all my cars all around, so it's kind of fun. And one thing that's really nice is to all the bartenders I do frequent and I see around, thank you for always getting me my water.
They're always refilling your water.
I know, it's nice. I appreciate that, so.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. Well, so guys, I just want to also say that we are sponsored today by Nacogdoches Gold and Silver Exchange. Go to the website. You can call them at 655-4828 or go visit them at 13323 Nacogdoches Road. Chase, so it sounds like you have had an amazing road to this sobriety, and I, as a friend, am so proud of you and honored for you to be here to talk about it more. And I'd love to chit-chat more with you in our future episodes of What's Trending with Trudy. And what else is going on with you? Anything fun and exciting?
It just
in 2024. My gosh,
getting a year going, getting through all this mountain cedar. I was down for 3 days.
Well, yeah, because it was only at 34,000 for mountain cedar or mold and everything else. I almost had a little snippet of it during the New Year's Eve weekend. So yeah, I get it. So any traveling coming up?
No traveling right now. So, but. Let's circle back with
the dating
thing when it comes up closer to Valentine's Day.
Well, you only have like a month and a half, so we got to get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
All right, guys. Well, there you go. Hope everybody has a great day, and we will chit-chat again with the Chase Hooker. Yeah? And if anybody has any questions and has any ideas that they want to talk about or discuss, email me, please, at trendingwithtrudy@gmail.com. Until then, everybody have a safe and exciting day. Bye.